Hey guys, welcome back to the Train Sim Depot. My name is Gareth and today we'll be taking a look at the Class 374 Eurostar on a custom scenario I made on Train Sim Classic. Now this, before I get into the scenario, this scenario was made by myself. It is a very basic London to Ebbsfleet. There is no TVM in this edition, but we're going to get into the locomotive as we're going along, and I'll go through it in little bits and pieces going into that. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and let's not waste any more time. See you guys in a sec. Okay, so here we are at London St Pancras with the Class 374 Eurostar. This model is the Major Wales edition of this train. I'll leave a link down below to the patch, but let's get straight into it. And I think let's open the doors first, and we'll put her into forwards. This train, unfortunately, as I said in the intro, we do not have TVM, so I am relying a lot on the HUD for this. So this actual unit is based off of the, I believe it's the 407 Ice, what is available on Steam. Currently actually at a very nice discount. I think it only costs me like $5.99. And I actually have to say the sounds are very good. There is some slight differences to this train, the Eurostar edition of this train, to the actual original Ice, including the actual length. So this is a 16 car consist, so it's a very long consist. As you can see, it's very long. But it's a very nice train, I have to say. So the internal passenger views have not been edited, but this is basically the same. I think actually with Eurostar you have the different headrests, and also there's different PISs too with that. But I actually have to say it's a very nice reskin. Apart from, like I said, the TVM, there is no TVM in this. So let's get the cabs set up. So normally here you would have the TVM signalling system, what is obviously HS1. So let's get set up. So we're going to do, I'm not going to be driving with any assists either, so there'll be no signalling because the signalling doesn't necessarily work. There's no AWS, no TVM. I'll just be relying basically on the HUD for this. The max speed of this train is 200 miles per hour, but we will not be reaching that in today's video. It's quite a short run. We are going down to Ebbsfleet International, stopping there only. So yeah, this scenario isn't fully complete yet. I've still got one or two more bits to do. But it should be quite nice. So yeah, as you can see, the headlights, there is also a bug with the headlights, what basically mean they don't necessarily show up. What's kind of annoying, but hey ho. There is one or two of these reskins available on the internet, but I just used the Major Wales one because it is probably the best one, because it does have the weathering effects on top. I actually think it's really nice. I'm going to release the brakes and then we'll start forward. See, we start picking up amps, and like I said, it is a very, yeah, I think the sounds, DTG did actually do a very good, on the sounds. But these, so yeah, this train is actually used by Deutsche Bahn, the train operator in the German, in Germany. And then I believe Eurostar then brought, I think it was like 14 train sets off of them. So the Class 373 is the typical Eurostar, what most people sort of relate Eurostar with, but these are the new versions. So the Class 373, probably I'd say about 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, they basically couldn't go to Brussels or Amsterdam due to signalling and the power requirements of the 373, so they can only really go to France. But obviously Eurostar wanted to expand, and so what happened was, what they found was they ordered some more of these, what do have the ETCS signalling systems. In real life they do have the TVM and all of the right signallings for Amsterdam and the Brussels sort of lines. So then that allowed Eurostar to expand, but the 373s are slowly being phased out, but they do go to France still, and I believe they can't go to Brussels, and they can't go to Amsterdam, but they definitely do go to France. And I think there is also some services to go to the south of France, I think Eurostar are looking at, because they have recently merged with Thalys, the sort of European open access operator. I have actually been on it, it's very nice. Who operate the TGV services pretty much all across the sort of Europe, so France, Brussels, lowland countries, France, Brussels, and France, Belgium, sorry, and Amsterdam, or Netherlands. So as we depart here, as you can see, it's a very long train, but it's, you can see the one in front was currently stopped at a red light because it is going into the platform we're going into. So this actual service is taken from a real life service. This was, the train goes to Brussels, so it's leaving roughly at the same time, sort of 7 minutes past, but we're going to try and increase here. We can only go up to 25 miles an hour at the moment, just because we're still on UK train. I have included the AP weather pack in this one too, to make it a bit nicer on the eyes. Like this bit always catches me out because I always seem to put too much acceleration on as we're going in. Yeah, it's also got the AP signalling pack too. I did forget about saying that at the start, but it has basically got all the enhancements, what you'd come to expect from today's train sim scenarios. So as we kind of come into the tunnel here, like I said, there is no signalling, so I do have to keep an eye on the HUD, but we can go up to 140 miles an hour in today's one. Actually, it's really nice when you're going through Stratford, because there is all this, you know, the iconic videos and photos of trains going through Stratford, and it kind of feels a bit like that today, so that's quite cool. But we can go up to 40 miles an hour now, so I'm going to slightly increase up to 150. Hopefully we'll start heading down, hopefully on a downward gradient, what means we'll be able to pick up speed quite nicely. We've got about 5 miles till Stratford, but we are not stopping at Stratford today. And I would actually say, you don't really get on the, with the 395, but I actually have to say the tunnels are quite nicely modelled actually. I mean, I say that, just that glitch appears at the top, the colouring, but you know, it's actually, you know, actually not speeding just a bit here. That's all. Leave off and we'll just put her into full acceleration. Yeah, the actual tunnels aren't modelled terribly, to be fair. I think it's because the headlights on the 395 are pretty terrible. I mean, the 395 in general was actually pretty terrible in train sim. It definitely needs some sort of enhancement, but I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. To be fair, it's also not particularly great in train sim world either, but yeah, so the 374, I've been on it twice now, and I actually really enjoyed the ride. It's actually a very comfortable ride. It's very smooth, very fast, and you do get a real sense of premium. I definitely think I would definitely like to see sort of Eurostar not just go to Amsterdam and Belgium, or sorry, Holland and Belgium, but I'd also like to see them go to somewhere like Germany, maybe Italy. It'd be really cool. But there's also no reason, I suppose, the loading gauge. So these trains actually have a heavier loading gauge to what the normal UK requirement is. So you can't run these trains on the West Coast main line, for argument's sake. You just wouldn't be able to do it. So that's why they only run on HS1 in the UK. They don't run on any other conventional lines. And the 373 can run on. The 373 can run on conventional lines in the UK. However, I think they wanted to do a service up to Manchester or somewhere like that up north when they were first introducing it. However, it wasn't particularly great. Actually increasing it was weird. What have I done? This train is necessarily actually part of the Pro range, but we're not actually getting any Amsterdam. There we go. Going a bit slow through the tunnel there. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, sorry. I was putting too much power in, I think, for the speed. Helps when I know how to drive the train. But yeah, I actually find this is a really nice reskin. I wish they'd done the interior, but it would be really nice if they could extend this route to Ashford. I doubt they would, because there's not actually any reason why they would. The only service will go over 395s, and I appreciate DTG, quite frankly, do not have the licensing for Eurostar, and from what I've been told, the Eurostar license is actually very difficult to get, and they're really funny about it. I'm surprised Major Wells even was allowed to put his reskin on, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, they can get a bit funny about it. But we are now picking up some speed, which is really nice. Hopefully we'll be able to reach Ebbsfleet on time. There is a bit of a bug at Ebbsfleet actually. The platforms aren't actually big enough for these trains, so it is a bit of an odd one, but it's not too bad, I suppose. But yeah, these trains were made by Siemens. And actually, what's really funny, I actually noticed this the other day. So the TMS are a bit in front of you with the speedometer and the signalling systems, etc. They actually use the same, I presume it's the same software as the 700s. So yeah, I assume that's, here we go, coming through Stratford now. 130 or 140 miles an hour. We're going to actually pull off on the speed a bit, because I don't want to go over too much as we're coming through. We're actually going to go into a sterling shot. goes into the tunnel like so. I'm going to start picking up some speed. Nice, so we've got about 16 miles till Ebbsfleet, so we're going to go through Dagenham and around the area first as we come out of the second HS1 tunnel. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it uses the same sort of software and interface as the 700s, because the 700s are also made by Siemens, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain they are. So yeah, it's quite interesting. What I do like about this train, actually, I think DTG did a very good job. It's actually cab modelling. The cab is actually very nice. It's got all the relevant signal, bits and pieces. And actually, if you run this on the German lines, it does have AFB, it does have Cypher, it does have KVM, I believe it is, or KVB. Their version of sort of the signalling, and PZB too. I don't actually know how to use any of them, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not particularly great when it comes to German signalling. I'm getting better at it, but not particularly great, I have to say. Gaps. I could have used AFB for some cruise control, but I like driving this manually. This is probably one of my favourite locos. I think for train sim, in terms of like just first party releases, I think DTG did actually quite a good job on this. The sounds are quite nice. It's a shame they didn't include the TVM, what I am a bit disappointed about, but I can kind of understand why, because you wouldn't use this, like if you were buying this from Dovetail Games on Steam, you wouldn't really be using this for anything else but German routes. It's only because someone's made a reskin for Eurostar. Well, I think they probably should have known was going to happen when they released it, but yeah, there's a lot of different signaling systems what could have been used, I think, to make it really compatible. And I think this release would have really lined up well with an extension. But this is probably, I think this one's a few years old now actually. I think this model is, correct me if I'm wrong, but 2017, 2018. But yeah, this is used pretty much all over Germany now, this train. So personally, I prefer the Frankfurt high-speed route. I think that's a really nice route. We might actually do that for a video. I haven't decided yet what kind of videos I want to do yet. But this was one I just wanted to do. Nice introduction back. And Eurostar is one I've been playing a lot of this. Let's come out the second tunnel here. Start picking up some speed as we're coming up from the super cool. I left all of the yards empty. Again, I might put some AI static stuff there, but I don't really want to bloat the route too much with stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's quite good fun. It's definitely one of my favourite units, I have to say, and it's definitely one of the ones in Train Sim where I think DTG did actually quite a good job with it, what is kind of rare, because I know some of the first party locomotive releases, they have to wait until sort of AP or Just Trains or someone else comes and does sort of an enhancement pack for it, or even that, even just someone like ATS coming to do that sort of thing. But yeah, it's nice to see a good release, and the model is actually very nice too. There's definitely some cool results. I think the headlights are actually broken from the Train Sim Classic update. I've noticed that on a few German locomotives, not just this one, but the ICE-3 too, and the ICE-4 by 3D Zug, the one I've also got, and it's quite nice. Not something I drive because it's quite difficult to drive the ICE-4, but yeah, there's been definitely a lot of problems in real life, if I've been told. So yeah, we're trundling along here at 140. Coming through, I believe we've just gone past Dagenham, so now we're coming through Dartford, and we're going to start seeing the QE2 bridge momentarily. A route, actually, a bridge I know quite well. Actually, might have already gone past it. It's just before you enter the third tunnel on the way to Ebbsfleet, but we've got about 5 miles to Ebbsfleet, so I'm going to start knocking off the power slightly. It can creep up on you, the speed restriction. I think there's about 70 miles an hour outside Ebbsfleet, and it can really creep up on you, so you have to be very, very careful when you're braking. Just make sure you're looking at the HUD when you do play this scenario. If you do play it, of course, you don't have to, but it's quite a nice run. I believe there was 22 of these sets made, and I believe they're not actually stored in the UK. Their actual depot, I believe, is in France, and there's also, I believe, one in Belgium too. I could be wrong, but the 373s are kept at North Pole Depot. So yeah, obviously when it was going from Waterloo. But there is a 373 in Train Sim, what I could have used for this. However, I don't want to use it because it isn't very good. I wouldn't even put it as good as freeware. It's that bad, personally. Oh, there you go. just the QE2 bridge just popped into view. So we're going to the third bore tunnel. HS1 here. It's basically, essentially, you go down and you come straight back up. So you just got to keep an eye on the signals, or not on the signals, on the speed restrictions in the HUD to really get a good idea. But we are going about 128, 129 miles an hour. I don't want to come in too fast. I made a mistake when I was testing this scenario when I made it. Again, I'm coming in too fast to Ebbsfleet, so I don't really want to be doing that again. That was not fun. Probably my next video will be something a bit more classic British, maybe something like the Wherry lines, maybe a West Coast main line scenario. I haven't decided yet. As you can see, we need to start braking. Because Ebbsfleet does pop up out of view about 1.5 miles to brake from 100. So we are going to implement our brake. Got about a mile to go. Hopefully we can, and I believe it does actually, there is a phantom speed limit somewhere, I believe. Yeah, so there we are. Oh dear. One of these days I will get the speed right, but so we're going into normally with the other one you'll go up onto that ramp, but we're actually going to go onto the international platforms. What basically will allow us to, I believe in real life these were lengthened. I don't actually know if Eurostar, I don't think Eurostar stopped here anymore since the pandemic. But yeah, a really nice scenario actually. If you guys want to pick this up, I'm going to leave a link down below. I might not have it, I'm going to leave a link down below if you guys want to download this. Because it's not the most challenging scenario ever, but it's just a bit of fun. Really, if you guys want to take Eurostar out for a bit of a run, then feel free. If you guys do want to see more videos, then please do hit that subscribe button down below. It's always appreciated. We are starting to, considering I haven't uploaded in a few months, many months, I'm actually quite surprised the amount of people who are still subscribed. It's really nice. And you see, we've got like that. So yeah, really nice scenario. Like I said, Eurostar. It's nice to see it in Train Sim. I think hopefully one day we'll actually get a full 374 and a nice 373 model. That would be really nice, but either way I'm not too fussed if we don't. It's just, yeah, I think this one is nice and I like the weathering effects, so I'll leave a link down below to this reskin too if you guys want to download this too. And yeah, that is going to be the end of this video, guys. Like I said, a really nice run from London St Pancras to Ebbsfleet using the Eurostar Class 374. So thanks guys for watching, I'll see you guys next time and have a great day.